Welcome to the Now, I'm Ashley. Nintendo's seeing the mania over the SNES Classic. They're aware that you want one, and they finally have a few words of comfort, I guess you could say, maybe? Nintendo of America President Reggie Fils-Aimé says that even though you can't find an SNES Classic now, you shouldn't worry. And you definitely should not pay those premium scalper prices on eBay. Reggie made these comments in a new interview with Financial Times where he said that the SNES Classic supply is dramatically different than the NES Classic. And because of that, you should stay away from eBay. Reggie, I would strongly urge you not to overbid on an SNES Classic on any of the auction sites. You shouldn't have to pay more than $79.99. It's kind of hard to believe that after what we've seen so far, but Reggie went on to say that the situation is entirely different than the NES Classic. With that console, they didn't create enough because their data indicated that retro consoles weren't all that popular, but well, now they've learned their lesson. We'll see about that, Reggie. We're gonna test you on this later. Bethesda can't seem to make up its damn mind about whether or not they actually are releasing that unannounced game this year. Last week, VP P. Hines said they did, and then they didn't in just a matter of days. Now he's saying they do again. In a tweet over the weekend, Hines clarified his flip-flopping from last week, writing, "I'm positive I knew what I was saying in the interview. The tweet was a joke." He's referring to the tweet he wrote saying to ignore the interview where he said they had an unannounced game. If you're confused, don't worry, so's Pete, I guess. Either way, this indicates Bethesda does still have something unannounced in the works for 2017. Considering how much time there is left in the year, it's probably not going to be something earth-shattering, so don't rev your hype engines too far, but might be another mobile title. Fallout Shelter was amazing if they were going to do a Fallout Shelter 2, or, you know, raise your own dragon, something like that. Maybe. It'd be important either way. If you're looking forward to that next few months of Nintendo releases, because it's looking pretty good, you've got even more reason to be excited. The company just announced a brand new Nintendo Direct scheduled for Wednesday, September 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. You can do your own time zone calculations from there. Hey, maybe we'll even stream it and do some reactions along with it, because that sounds fun. Who knows? According to the company, this week's Direct is going to be 45 minutes of information mainly focused on what's headed to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS over the next few months. They'll also be sharing some additional information about Super Mario Odyssey, which drops mid-October, well, late October. So mark your calendars, and maybe we'll get some other big release date confirmations in the Direct as well. Maybe some like Stardew Valley, I'm just saying. If you've been holding out hope that Rocksteady is going to surprise us at any moment with an unannounced Arkham sequel, you may want to just let that one go. At least that's according to Kevin Conroy, the iconic voice of Batman from the Arkham video games. In a recent quote from WizardCon, Conroy said to a fan about the future of the series, "You know, I can't believe they're not going to do another one, but they're not. Isn't that amazing? They made literally billions of dollars on those games, but no, there's no plan to do another one. Sorry." Well, that doesn't sound promising for the Cape Crusader, but it is pretty important to keep in mind that 1, voice actors aren't always privy to the plans of the developers, and 2, this doesn't necessarily mean the series isn't being worked on by another developer who will still be going with a different casting, but it is a sign that if something does happen, it's going forward without the definitive voice of Batman, and that's kind of a bummer. He did a really wonderful job. It looks like yet another game is imposing a Switch tax on gamers. Yes, the Switch version of Noire, which is being re-released for current-gen consoles, will cost $10 more than the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One versions for the physical version. Physical Switch copy gonna be $50 compared to $40 for the PS4 and Xbox One. Why is it more expensive than Switch? Well, US Gamer says it has something to do with the cost of producing Switch cartridges, which are apparently much more expensive to make, and this has come up with a couple of other titles previously as well. If you go digital though, it costs the same as all the other platforms, $40. So maybe worth it in this case if you want to save a little bit of money, as long as you've already spent extra money on an SD card. All of the versions will be available to purchase on November 14th. Now we've got yet another Shenmue remaster rumor. DualShockers reports that a possible Shenmue 1 and 2 pack may have been leaked by some European retailers, in addition to, well, what we've seen already. The package appeared on the Czech retailer site Alza, as well as 3 other retailers in Slovakia. They all list PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game, but no release date. So far, Sega hasn't commented, Still a rumor at this point, but this could be yet another indicator that something is indeed happening. It is what a lot of people have been asking for, especially with this lead up to Shenmue 3. So it's looking pretty good, but again, not official. Even though Ark Survival Evolved is out of early access, it is officially released. Still apparently got problems. Eurogamer reports that the game's performance is still a major issue even after its official release a few weeks ago. The game's performance on a base PlayStation 4 will sometimes drop below 30 frames per second, which is not good, especially considering that it can only go up to 720p max on the console. And the Xbox One version is apparently even worse. Eurogamer called it rough and unpolished, if that gives you an indication, so yeah. Not a great sign. You'd think these issues would be worked out beforehand, if that's kind of what early access meant. If only there was some way they could have done that. Oh. Apparently, people really, really love scary clowns. For reasons. Stephen King's It shattered expectations and box office records this weekend, raking in more than $123 million at the domestic box office. It now has the third largest opening weekend for 2017, behind only Beauty and the Beast and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's also great news for Hollywood in general, which has had a pretty rough summer season. It's been down more than 14% from last year. It was the worst Labor Day weekend in like 20 years. And if you're wondering, yes, there's already a sequel to it in the works. It's pretty good. I don't like scary movies, still watched it, had a good time. My jaw was sore from clenching by the end. Oh. Now, you're not the only one who wants answers about the massive Equifax hack. Congress also wants to know more. Lawmakers are planning to probe the huge breach that compromised about 143 million Americans' information that includes driver's licenses, social security numbers, the kind of thing that you can't just go out and update. Now, lawmakers say they'll question company officials at some upcoming hearings. Representative Greg Walden, who leads the U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee, said he wants to learn what went wrong and what we need to do to better protect consumers from serious breaches like this in the future. The House Financial Services Committee said it will also hold a hearing on the incident. Oh, and the states of New York will hold a formal investigation tool. Cool. Now, if any of those people can tell us how to change our social security number, that would be a great big help. Oh, also there's like a $7 billion class action lawsuit about that now, so have fun. I guess you can afford a lot of social security numbers with that kind of money. All right, that's all the news we have for you guys today. Let us know what you think of all these stories in the comments down below. To make sure you get news from every corner of the internet, like this video. If you're new around here, please subscribe to the know. I mean, look, I love it. I love the fish. I like looking out and seeing them swimming around and being all little cute and golden and stuff, and like trying to eat bubbles off the surface of the water because they're stupid as shit. But I feel terrible right now. I feel like we're gonna get to a good place, but I've got to get through this dark place.